Okay, so welcome everyone. First of all, I would like to invite you to our presentation where we will tell you how we, few students from VŠE, managed to help Daviso, which is a successful data management company, with its data. I will begin with an old saying that the shoemaker's children walk barefoot. This saying is meant to highlight the irony that experts don't necessarily apply their knowledge in their own lives. This saying is also partly true with Daviso, because Daviso is a company that's trying to help its customers to manage and to govern their data. But at the same time, when we look inwards, we see that each of their customers' data is stored on a separate instance in a separate database. And Daviso currently, if they want to look at the data, so imagine you are someone from Daviso and you want to know how the customer uses your application. They need to query the separate instance. They send the query into the database, they need to know what they want to know, and they get back the results, which is pretty easy, right? But what happens if you don't have just one, but multiple, actually a few dozens of customers? The whole process gets really complicated, because you need to query each of the databases separately, and you need to glue back the results manually, which is not the best practice. To sum up the issue, the main problem is that you are just getting a limited insight into the user behavior, because you are calculating the KPIs just per instance and not per all of your customers. And therefore, you don't really know how all of your customers use your product. Then the whole process and the whole task of this analysis is also very time-consuming. It's very prone to human error, because you are gluing the results together in Excel or in your mind. And the next problem is that you need to be technically skilled to perform this analysis. You need to know how to write the queries, and you need to know how to execute them properly to get the results and the insight you need. So what have we done about it?
So to alleviate the Daviso customer success team from performing repetitive and unsustainable tasks, we came up with our solution. We have created a data warehouse where all the data from all Daviso application instances are consolidated in one place, as you can see here in the middle of the diagram. This centralized data repository streamlines data management, ensuring that all relevant information is easily accessible and consistently maintained. This solution gives Daviso a holistic view of user behavior statistics. It will also make it possible to monitor some new metrics, such as daily active users or application usage. It gives all the information about Daviso's clients from one place, which will save the Daviso a significant amount of time. Here we are talking about 6.5 man-hours saved, which is almost 93% of the time needed before our implemented solution. And they have now a platform ready for any future and more complex projects. For example, AI and ML projects, which they want to take up in the nearest future, and they need those data to train their AI models. In addition, as you can see on the right side of the diagram, we created an analytical application where target user has a comprehensive overview of key metrics and can still view data even if they are not technically oriented.
All right, so let me briefly summarize our project. We consolidated the fragmented data into one place where a customer success team can access various statistics about their clients and usage of the Daviso platform. We built an analytics application so Daviso team possesses an easily accessible, comprehensive overview of the key metrics, which even if you cannot speak SQL, you can still access the data and monitor valuable insights about application usage and user behavior. So, in addition to pre-existing metrics, we have also introduced new KPIs which were incalculable with the original manual approach. As a proof of concept, our solution brought a significant time reduction for the customer success team, bringing the total time spent on a weekly analysis of user behavior across all instances from 7 hours to just 30 minutes. And that accounts to exactly 92.8% decrease in time spent on these tasks, which can be used for more valuable and insightful activities. Thanks to this platform, Deviso has an environment where they can feel comfortable to think bigger and tackle even more ambitious and complex projects. For example, the AI/ML applications that Deviso aims to develop thanks to our solution. This solution is ready to accommodate Deviso's growth, and we are happy to be part of this change. So, thank you for your kind attention, ladies and gentlemen, and now we would like to invite you to ask any questions if we piqued your interest. Thank you.
Thank you for a very nice presentation for a start of the second block. I completely agree that it's necessary to have the data unified in order to be able to drive some insights from it. And that's something actually you mentioned in your presentation, that you built some analytics application on top of that. Unfortunately, you didn't show what it looked like. So that would be my first question. How does that application look like? And second one is regarding the new valuable KPIs. What are they and how do they drive the value?
Hello. Yeah, thank you. The first question you asked was about the application, and it's sort of a dashboard. It's sort of a glorified dashboard in this case, and we intentionally didn't show it because we didn't want to make an impression that it's the core of our solution, which is not, which is because the core is the platform. And so we are giving the application as a base for them, and we expect that they would perform some actions and expand this current state of the Analytica application. So that is why we only showed that we created it, but we didn't pay a lot of attention to it because it's not the core of the solution. And when it comes to the KPIs,
yeah, so for the KPIs, if you're asking about the unique KPI that needs the unified data to be calculated, it's, for example, daily used applications, because Daviso is a platform that includes several specific applications that you can use. And if you query each instance separately, even if you use distinct select to query just the specific applications that are used, you don't have any control to know which of the applications were used on which instance. And if you send this query to 5 instances of Daviso, you're basically you could be getting back different results, but how do you combine them? How do you know which applications were used? You don't. So that's the reason why you need the unified source of data to identify the unique applications in Daviso.
So from what you are saying, the value lies in bringing them descriptive statistics into one place.
Well, we are not really bringing just the descriptive statistics. We are bringing all the application metadata from the specific instance. And then we are calculating the statistics, the descriptive statistics on our platform. And the reason why is because we don't want the platform, the unified storage, just to support this one dashboard for this one use case. But we want to enable Daviso to do more with this data, to learn, to teach the AI models to recommend objects to users based on these statistics, etc. So we are bringing them the data one by one, so they can then extract what value they need themselves for all the future use cases.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just like to say that the initial value that we were supposed to bring comes from the statement that was first on the first slide. But then we sat with the extended team, with the developers, and we asked, okay, this is cool, but who else can benefit from this? And that is where they said, okay, so we would like to take part in some complex projects, but we don't even have the base for it, and that is where we came from.
Thank you. So I understand that the core is actually the unification of the data into one place. Thank you.
Thanks for the presentation. I wanted to ask, if you are unifying the data from multiple instances, then how did you unify it? Because if you just connect it into one database, or if it was like create separate databases which are looking like the same?
Well, right now they have dozens of instances, and they are databases, in fact, and each of the databases share the same structure, but has, of course, different data. And we have Worker, which is like a service that pulls all the data from different instances and packs them into JSON files and sends them into our into like the first layer of our warehouse, which is the landing zone, where we collect all of this data in different rows, and then we unpack them back to the tabular data once they arrive.
Yeah, and during the unpacking, we also included the information of like where the data came from which instance. So we keep this information in our database.
How many layers your warehouse has?
Well, right now, I think 4. Yeah, we have 4 layers.
Okay.
Okay. Also, thank you for the presentation. I'm still not quite sure what are you selling me. Like, I understand that I need all my metadata in Davizo, and you will also build the data warehouse for me and the reporting on the top of it? Or?
Well, it depends like who you act as, who you are, because we aren't selling anything to the Davizo's customers. We are selling directly to Davizo, and we are telling them we have unified we have unified the metadata from instances, so you can look at it in one place and do whatever you want with it. As a proof of concept, we have created the dashboard for the customer success team, which is why they save 6.5 hours a week. But that's just a proof of concept. The value is in the unification and in the integration of data.
Okay, I think I get it, but how is it different, like, from what Davizo does right now?
Well, Davizo didn't have a structure for this at the moment, so they didn't have any warehouse that they could unify the data in. So that's where we came in and we unified them. So it's like a structure for, you know, the solution that we provide is something that was lacking in the Davizo right now. So it's not about what they are doing right now, but it's about what they didn't have and they needed to move on.
Okay, so it's not just about the metadata, but you will build like the real data warehouse on top.
Yeah,
of
we built
okay.
we built the data warehouse with 4 layers, and the last layer is a data mart layer that feeds the data into the analytics application where we use Power BI because they are using it right now. So we built the warehouse and we built the analytics solution.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you also for the presentation. So basically you build a data warehouse. Yeah, that's great. It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's on the back end, so we all know it's a lot of work. And the front end for the analytical platform, that's also great. So what kind of, let's say, actions can the customer success team, you said, is the target user for that one? So what kind of actions can they take based on that platform that you have already provided?
Okay, so we provide the data in a daily loads that they receive in the dashboard, which they can monitor, and also they have control over their yeah, so the account managers have control over the clients, because right now they don't have a centralized repository where they would see, oh, this client has this many accounts, or and this customer has this amount, and so this is another part of the manual labor that they had to do, where they would manually compare them. So this is another usage that they can gain out of it. And apart from that, it's about the. Yeah.
Okay, this was the last question. I'm sorry for it. I think the discussion was really nice, and I can continue after this block. Okay, well, thank you for your presentation, for performance.